Hello and welcome. It is Deck Tech time. I'm Randy Buehler, joined by Andrea Mengucci. Welcome.
Thank you.
Start with a little good news, bad news. We're talking about how Bant Company is the defining deck in this metagame.
Yeah, definitely.
That was what you guys concluded, and you finished second with it at the last Pro Tour, so kind of makes sense. You would stick to your guns.
Yeah, on one side makes sense because I know how to play it and I know how good it is. But on the other side, I'm sure there's a way to beat it, some ways to beat it, and probably I think our team didn't find it. So here I am playing Bant Company at this Pro Tour.
All right, well, we've started to crunch the numbers. We haven't got the whole metagame breakdown figured out, but I did look at how many people were playing Collected Company in this field. It's actually only about 23% of the field. And if you go to Bant Company specifically, it's like 19.5%.
Good.
So it's not the 35% Bant Company that I think a lot of people were afraid of coming in. A lot of teams out there figured, oh, we can beat it, or it's a little too inconsistent, or I don't know. Is that good news or bad news for you if you're only 20% of the field?
I expected it higher because that means that a lot of people, it's out knowing that they can beat it, and that's bad for me.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, we'll see. Certainly in the feature match area that round, we saw a lot of people trying black-green sort of delirium strategies and graveyard strategies.
We've been playing black-green, Sultai decks the whole week, but they are, maybe they beat Bant Company, but then they, are kind of soft to Gideon or kind of soft to, other strategies. So Bant Company is like, okay against the field, so.
Yeah, that's really the gambit, right? If you can beat Bant Company, but you can't handle the other, 2/3 of the field, or maybe it's 80% of the field, that doesn't work either.
Yeah.
All right, so all the stories about this standard definitely begin and end with Bant Company. At least they do coming into the Pro Tour.
Yeah.
We may know more by the end of tomorrow. We'll see where things wind up. But for now, the defining deck out there is the Bant Company deck. So we wanted to talk to you. We wanted to take a look at what's actually going on. And this is the card, right?
Yeah.
This is just
the
so much power.
Deck.
Talk to me about this card.
So definitely this card is like the core of the deck. Whenever you cast this card, you actually gain mana because you probably have two creatures that cost 3 mana, or one on 2 and one on 3. So it's actually a 4 mana card, but in real it's like a 6 mana card at instant speed, which means can dodge like Languish because you play end of turn, or opponent can attack into it. There's your opponent can be afraid of this card and not play, not attacking,
right?
Because you can, but maybe you miss or your creature are not the best, so you basically gained 1 attack. So many angles why this card is great. And that's definitely the card, the card defining of this standard.
Makes sense. We'll keep going through the deck. Some more of the familiar faces. These were fixtures in the deck last Pro Tour. They're still just a lot of the power.
Yeah, one new addition was Terrace Tracker. I mean, it's not new. Last time I played 2, but this time I'm big on 4. It's just great against every deck that tries to beat Bant Company, like this black-green, black-white. Yep. Terrace Tracker with Evolving Wilds is just 2 extra cards. Even if your opponent Grasp of Darkness it, you get 2 extra cards in late game, which you will overcome, So this is why we play 4. And the other 2 are just pillar of the deck, so.
Makes sense. Let's keep going. Some more of the creatures that have been around for a little while. Your numbers are a little interesting here, right? 1 Avacyn, 2 Jaces. Talk to me about this set.
So, mostly I would like to talk about the 2 drops. That's the most interesting part. We have 4 Sylvan Advocate, of course, but we only play 3 Duskwatch Recruiter. Why this? Because Duskwatch Recruiter is not great in multiples. It's basically a card that it's great on turn 2 when you're on the play because your opponent can be stuck, then it flips, and then you go a little bit faster. It's great in late game because it's card advantage. But in the mid game or if you draw multiples, it's not spectacular. And for Jace, again, Jace it's not the best at the beginning of the game, but it shines a lot in the late game. It's the best target for company. Another 2-drop, it's Selfless Spirit. Maybe we'll get it later.
We're getting to Selfless Spirit. Yeah.
And then Avacyn, we only play 1. I'm not really into Avacyn because it's not that good against Black-White, Sultai, those kinds of deck, but combos so much with Selfless Spirit. You sacrifice and you instant flip it against humans or Bant Company that deserve his 1 slot. Okay.
Now we'll keep going. And you start to see some of the new additions.
Yeah,
Selfless Spirit, you mentioned, is now competing for the 2-drop spot, and I think everybody has Spell Queller as just the most impactful card coming out of Eldritch.
Spell Queller is great. And it was very hard to learn how to cast Spell Queller. Because it's not that if your opponent plays a 4-drop, you Spell Queller it. It's not how it goes, because then if your opponent plays Languish, let's say, they gain, let's say, Kalithos back. So never counter Kalithos, for example. Or never counter stuff that you can attack. Like if they cast Gideon and you have Spell Queller and Selfless Spirit in play and Spell Queller in hand, just don't counter Gideon. Just cast it end of turn and attack Gideon for 4. That's how you kill it. So it's like very important that this creature is insane, not only because, counter a spell, but just because it's a flash flying. Like last Pro Tour I was playing 4 Bounding Crazes. This one replaces it very well.
Got it. And then in the 2-drop spot, talk to me about Selfless Spirit.
So Selfless Spirit is a card that is not the best sometimes in a late game, but because sometimes you don't actually see his effect on the board because your opponent might not cast his Dromoka's Command because they're Selfless Spirit.
Right.
So sometimes Selfless Spirit is kept on check by Spell Queller in the mirror match, for example, but it's doing a great job. As I said, it combos well with Avacyn, and it's just great against all the Cossack's Return deck, all the red deck that are not very popular in the standard, almost because Dromoka's Command and obviously for Selfless Spirit.
Okay, let's keep going. Dromoka's Command, you've mentioned a couple times. I noticed though, 3?
Only 3.
Only 3?
Yeah, we cut one Dromoka's Command in favor of Ojutai's Command. We knew that Green-Black Sultai will be great at this Pro Tour, and Green-Black plays Ishkana, which is like a beating. Like it's very hard for you to beat Ishkana.
Yeah.
I don't say Ojutai's Command is just there for Ishkana. It's there for a plethora of creatures, Dragolor, Silumgar.
But a plethora of creatures, including
Ishkana, the Avacyn. So it's just, and also you can just bring back Jace end of turn. He's not going to expect it. So it's a lot of new flash things to the deck. And since we have to cut some non-3 or less mana cost creature, we had to cut one Dromoka's Command.
Interesting. All right, I think the rest of the deck is just the lands, right? I don't know if there's anything to talk about here. This is just
probably the same mana base as
last time. You can look at the rest of it just for the sake of argument. Now, talk to me about your testing process, because you've been testing with MTG Mint Card. You guys had a great Pro Tour last time. I know you and Katsuhiro Mori were playing in the last round. You got to top 8 spot, finished 2nd. Did you think, oh, we're just going to play Bant Company again the whole time, or how did you wind up saying, yep, we're just running Bant Company?
At first, obviously, I didn't want to play Bant Company. But once we settled down, once we started, doing our tournament to see which was the best deck, there wasn't a winner. There wasn't like a deck that, beat it, either Bant Company and, let's say, Black-White, okay? Because those were the two, our 2 best deck coming to this PT. And then there's the Green-Black Delirium deck, which is, also very hard to build. So maybe, we missed the perfect build, and, other team could have focus the team. I saw Team Eureka playing like Jandu with Pilgrim's Eye, Team Face to Face playing, I don't know, it's another black-green. So maybe, there's something out there that we didn't find.
So you're watching the results of this Pro Tour just like everybody at home.
Sure.
Going, did somebody break it? Did they figure out?
That's the pity. You always are excited to watch the coverage.
Absolutely. Awesome. Well, thanks. Good luck to you with Bant Company. I know it's done well for you and your team so far. Look, that's the baseline. That's where the metagame begins. Now, we're only halfway through Friday, though, and there are a lot of people out there who think they have decks that can beat Bant Company. Stay tuned. We'll find out who actually knows what's going to wind up on top of Standard. Send it back to the desk.